I think let's get started, guys. So others
Yes,
can
sir.
join. Fine.
We have started the recording also. Those who are
Okay.
joining late, they can refer the recording also. Thank you.
Yes, yeah. Yeah. So we talked about hierarchy parser, and we've also talked about how to build a task which is used for any mapping, right? So we have seen that. Today, let us try
Hello.
to continue. Yes, please.
Your audio is not clear.
Oh, really?
Your audio is not clear.
Yeah. Is it fine now?
Yeah, fine.
Okay. So yes, we talked about some of the transformations. So lookup, connected, unconnected, all that, join, all that. Yeah. Now let us try to focus on leftover transformations. This is a question. I think Rohit, you were asking a question about source control, right? In administrator, you can enable this. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, now let's try to focus on leftover transformations. Yeah. Like we have Java transformation. That's an important thing. SQL part, yeah. How to connect to database, that's also I think we have not done. And then so we'll try to focus on different types of tasks. Yeah. Okay. Let's start to jump in. Yeah. So let us build a mapping. So let's pick up one of the transformation, which is what? Oh, hierarchy builder is not done, right? Yes. Let us start from that. Yeah. So hierarchy builder transformation will be used in order to convert relational to XML. Yesterday we did what? XML to relational. Now we need to perform it other way, right? So let us say from source, if you get data from more than one file or more than file and table or whatever, right? Data can come in any form. You know? So our data could be a single file or multiple files or multiple tables or any form. But we need to convert relational data to what? XML data. A relationship could be expressed within itself, which we call interrelationship, or inter, which means across n number of files or n number of tables. Let's say we are dealing with what? Two source systems with one, both are, let's say they're files. I've already shared files. I sent a mail, don't know whether you got it or not. So please refer those files. Yeah. So in this, we are going to talk about what call it, a source one, which contains master file, and source two, which is going to be a detailed file. Yeah. So these are the two sources, source one and source two, master file and detailed file, right? So there is a linkage between what? These two files, master and detail. which means for every master record, there is going to be corresponding detailed data in detailed file. So that's it. So which means there's a one-to-many relationship between master with detail. For example, let's say we have a department table, and source 2 employee table. So department number 10 here, and in this employee department 10, employee 1, department 10, employee 2, department 10, employee 3, department 20, employee 4, and so on. Which means what? So there are n number of employees who are belonging to the same department, and we can see department number. There's only one entry in the master, so there is a one-to-many relationship between the master table with detail table. Simple. So this could be expressed even in its file format also. It's not that we need to use relational tables. We can have a file which would contain company data or medication data or any other data. So which is going to be the master data. Then we can also see detailed data with n number of records. So that's it. Now let us take example where I kept sample files. So one is going to be what? SEQ names. In that we can see what? Master file. In this it contains two companies data, First National Bank and Jackson Industry corresponding address. Right now, let us take detail file, which is SEQ names detail, where we got 3 entries related to the same bank, which means there are 3 employees associated to the same bank. Similarly, there are 3 employees belonging to Jackson Industry. That's it. There is one as a unknown record which we have in this detailed file, where we do not have corresponding master record in this particular what say SEQ names file. Clear, right? Which means we can build a linkage between master file with what you call detailed file, which is going to be this. So like primary key of one object, which will become as foreign key to another object. This is how we can build the linkage between two objects. That's it. Now the question, in order to read the data of this kind, so we have to have the structure. That's where we got XSD file. Like we have seen, XSD file what? Converting XML to relational. Same way, to convert relational to XML, we got XML, which contains the prologue, which is a version of XML, and the schema type. Then element, which is root element, which is employees. Within that, we can see name, address, substructure. Structure, within that we got employee ID, department, and substructure. In that we got a building and room. That's it. So we need to make sure that in this particular XSD, are we covering all the attributes or not? So that's going to be the question mark. I repeat. So we need to make sure that are we covering all the attributes over here or not? So I think it is covered. Let us see. Name, address. This is our name, address. So we can see here name, address. Then what is that? Yeah. Then we got employee ID, department. So we can see employee ID, department. Yeah. Then we have building, room, which are part of subdivision. So we can see building, room, which are part of subdivision. Clear, right? So that's it. Yeah? Which means all are covered as part of this particular schema definition. Fine. So that's it. Now we know how to write XSD file. Now the next question. So we need to start building hierarchical schema like what we did earlier based on XSD and then use that schema in order to build XML from these two input files. So let us try doing it. So let's create a new component. Yeah, I request everyone to do that. New components and select hierarchical schema. Yeah. Please select it and click on create. Yeah. So let us say here we are trying to build hierarchical schema for hierarchy, a hierarchy builder. Fine. And then we can specify the file, choose a file, specify yes, and open it. Yeah. So here we can see employees, right? Same thing like what we discussed, right? So we could able to see over here. Right? That's it. So employee, department, building, room. That's it. And say okay. I hope all of you could able to understand, right? Yes or no, guys?
Can you please reshare the XML that we are using in this?
Oh, XSD. Yeah. This one, right?
Yes.
Is this what you're asking? This XSD. Okay. Send a mail. So you want me to send it again?
Yeah, that would be nice. Thank you.
Okay. Rohit. Rohit, I think sent a mail to you. So 1 second.
Yesterday you sent to my mail ID, Shravan.
Oh, Shravan.
Correct. So the
Yeah,
yesterday, I
Shravan.
think yesterday which you sent it.
But today, actually, can you see here? There is a file here. This one I'm referring. Can
Okay,
you please
today.
forward?
Okay,
Fine.
XST.
Yeah.
Fine, fine. I'll log in and check. So if anybody wants now, you just drop a mail. I will send you.
Yeah. Just forward to their IDs. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So. Yeah. And then save it.
Shravan, ట్రైనర్ పేరు ఏంటి? ట్రైనర్ నేమ్ ఏంటి?
Narasimhareddy. NRK Narasimhareddy, that mail ID. Fine. So now let us try to build a mapping. Source 1, source 2. So let's configure the source first one. So we have kept these two sample files. Yeah, forward all the files. So and supply source file connection. then select. Yeah. So now we can start with the master file, which is going to be what? SQL names.txt. Then say OK. Yeah. So we can preview the data. Yes, can you see here? Name, address. That's it. In fields, we can see two of them, company name and address. Yeah? That's the first thing. Same way, we can configure second source, which is going to be detailed file. So select source and then select connection and supply second file, which will be the detailed file. SQL and enable this. So you can see, right? Same files, guys. So you'll get a mail from Stravan. Please use these files. And say OK. And click on preview data. Yeah. Name, employee, department, building, and room. So we got all the rows. Set done. Yeah. So then you can also verify all the fields. So 5 fields here, which are from detailed file. So source is ready. Now need to start configuration of hierarchy builder. So please select hierarchy builder, then maximize this. So here, so we need to select output settings because output is going to be XML, right? Yesterday we selected input settings because input was XML. Remember that. Yeah. Now let us select output settings. Now schema we have already configured, right? So you can just select it. If not configured, right? You can also click on new, which will take you to the same interface like where we configure, right? For example, click on new, see create new schema. It will take you there actually. Yeah, this one, because we have already done it. So you can just no. Now instead just click on select. So go to the location where we have got this schema file. Okay, it is not there. Let's go back. I think we kept it under this project folder. Select this folder. Yeah. Can you see hierarchical schema, hierarchy builder? Yeah. So please select it and click on select. That's it. Yeah. Now we can look at incoming fields. Nothing is there because it's not mapped, I think. Yes, we need to map this. First source and then second source. Yep. And then now we can go to hierarchy builder. This is done. Now we can look at incoming fields here. All. So this is from SQL names. This is from details. These are from details. Only 2 are from master. That's it. Now we can perform field mapping. See, on the left side, relational fields. On the right side, we can see hierarchical fields. Let us expand it. Can you see, guys? There's a pre-control button plus. You can just click on it. See, we got all. Source 2. Right side also you can just click on plus. Let's be expanded. All the attributes from XSD. Right now, we need to build, first thing, we need to build the relationship between the company name and name. Yeah. So let's click on this and select what? Primary key. Then click on same name and select what? Foreign key. Because primary key of this master will become as foreign key to second source. That's it. Now linkage is done. After that, we can map the columns from the sources to target. So name, address, employee ID, department, building, then room. That's it. This way, we could able to connect what two sources data to hierarchical structure, which is derived from XSD file. Clear, guys? So that's it. Yeah. Yeah. Please look at and ask questions if you have any questions from anybody, guys. Yeah. Done all. Yeah. Now let us configure the target. Yeah. Select target file connection. Then select specify target file name. Yes. Yeah. Let's say hierarchy builder target dot txt based two sources. Yeah. So please apply this. Yes. So then say okay.
Instead of txt, shouldn't it be .xsd because we are building an XML, right?
Yeah. So we can also have XML.
Okay.
We can have XML. Even it could be anything. Extension could be anything. Yeah. It doesn't matter. So we can open a text file or notepad, even an XML. Anything is fine. But the result will be in XML format. Yeah. Yeah. So now we can just connect. That's it. And save. Yeah. Let us apply the mapping name. It's a mapping hierarchy builder based on two sources. Yeah. So please apply this name and save it. Then run.
Small doubt.
Yeah.
So after we are creating the hierarchical component, right? So the source and target mapping will be automatically created, or we need to do separate that.
So mapping source target automatically comes.
So in my
It's
case,
a
like
template, right? These
I
two
create.
things.
Correct. Yesterday it came automatically using hierarchical this one component. So now just
No,
created
no, no,
one.
no. One will come automatically. One we added it.
This one hierarchical with hierarchical schema I created.
Both, both the cases. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's simple. Now, what else I can say it? When you create this mapping, the new one, this is how it comes. Seven. Can you see
Ah,
seven?
Correct.
Yeah. Then we added one extra source. Correct? No. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Fine.
After you creating the new mapping, so you added this one. You're saying hierarchy builder.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
Yes. I think it is executed. Huh? Yes. See, we got two rows. It's completed, right? Yeah. Because two master rows within that we'll have detailed rows. Let us see how the result would look like and whether we have all the rows in this particular target file amount. Output is a header and you can see prologue here. Employees. It's a root element, right? We can compare this with the XSD. Let me just open side by side. Can you see here? Employees. Yes, sir. Then the data, name, address. Yeah. So we can see name, address, right? Then we have got employee ID. Under employee structure, we can see employee ID. Then department, which is credit. Then we have subdivision, substructure. Within that, we have got a building, room. So we can see building and that's it. Yeah. So that is the first what you call record. Yeah. So this is going to be the first record. Sorry, till this it covers. Yeah. First National Bank address. From this bank, this is a detailed record. Then second record starts from here. Employee. Then we can see under employee, it is closed here. ID department. Then building room. This is going to be the second record. And third, it starts from here, then ends here. This is a third record. So that's what we have seen within this detail, right? Third record. For that, I will credit 65312. Yeah. So see, for that, I will credit 65312. That's it. So this is complete what we call one record with three detailed records. It is over. Now we need to start with what second record. Again starts from here. Employees, root element, second company, address of the company. Then in that, we can see multiple detailed records. So started here. Then we have employee ID, department, subdivision. We have building, room. Yeah. So you can see second where we have got what second record 2837 whatever it ended here and the third record which is here. So Jackson Industry also has got three rows, right? So three rows here. Yes. Last one where which can't be seen because the detailed data without any master. That is why it is kept. Yeah. So that's it. So this way we could able to convert what relational to XML. Any questions, guys?
Yeah, one question here. So the XML which is generated, that is having this output on the top, and the entire XML is in double quotes. And I see that namespace is also included in the XML. So is there any way
Yes,
that we
yes.
can customize this XML, like to remove these double quotes and remove the
Pretty much
namespace as well?
possible. A complete thing is this is a string here, right? It started from here and then last. You got right? Yes or no? It is started here, then get into this. Yeah, ended here. That's the first one record, one master record. The second master record started here and ended here. You got right? Because we specified output type as what? String here. When you look at this hierarchy, right? Yes or no?
Mhm.
So output type is what? A string, yeah, with a header. So this will be stored in a complete string. Like yesterday also we have seen input data we specified string, right? Here also output data will be in what? String format. You got right? So
Oh,
that's it. Yeah. Yeah. Like I think yesterday we have seen that string we created one path to XML file and type is string. That is mapped to input of hierarchy parser. Clear, no? I think we have seen that yesterday. So now we can see here incoming fields. Yeah, all the fields. Can you see output is a field name with a string type? Yeah, at this precision. You got right.
so
So that is why.
output is the header
Sorry.
for this entire file.
Yeah,
So
output is a header. You are right.
so is there any way that like if I don't want to print out the header, if I just want to print out the detail records, that's it. I don't want to print out the header. Is there any way that I can select it
Oh,
in the transformation?
within this configuration,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
yeah. In that case, yeah. In that case, what we need to do is when you try to configure this target, right? That time we can skip header in format settings, right? Here we can see, right? That we can take out. Header will be gone. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Yeah. Fine. Okay. So that's it, guys, about hierarchy builder. Now let us talk about complex transformation. So that's where you will see the power of ISCS, which is going to be structure parser transformation, where we can use structure parser transformation to convert unstructured to structure. Yeah, to get there, we need to build a model which we call intelligent structure model, which is based on CLAIRE, artificial intelligence model. Yep. So, for example, I think we all know how this particular unstructured data would look like, right? Like for example, we have got a PDF document or Word document or data from email or data from log file. These are all examples of what unstructured. Yeah. So for example, I think we know log file, right? Session log file, which we have seen it already. Yeah. So same log file, we can take it as input and then convert log to what? Structured form. So within this intelligent structure model, so we can see here one model form, second XML form or JSON, or third we can also have relational form. So that's it. These are the multiple forms of structured representation will be shown by using what? Intelligent structure model, which is log will be converted to one of these form. We don't do it. There is a ISM that will take care of it, which is based on CLAIRE, which is AI model. Yeah. So let us see. I think I already sent sample data. Shravan, I hope you followed all the files to all the people.
No, no, no.
So
Like if they send their mail IDs, I will forward. So I can forward to
Very
their
good.
personal Gmail only. So for mail I can't forward.
You can, okay, that's a problem, huh?
If I forward also, they have to copy to VM, right? So VM they were unable to copy from local to VM.
Okay. No, if they send it, no, they can send it to
I sent two
personal.
persons.
Yeah. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, send it to group. So rest they'll take care how to do it. Yeah. Right?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a doubt here. So generally in Power Center, to debug anything, we have a debug option and something like that. So in ISCS, if you want to debug, do we have specifically something called as debug, or is there any process to debug?
Yes. We don't have a debugger similar to Power Center, but we can do it in one preview. We have a preview option each and every transformation level. And second, we also have got log files anyway. That's different anyway. We got a flow chart, advanced view, where we can see what complete flow from top to bottom. I'll try to show it on today's session. Yeah?
Can we see an example, Narasimha?
That's what I'm saying. I'll talk about that. Yeah?
Okay, okay.
Yeah. When you build a task flow, right? That time you can just go and see all the tasks with the clear debug instructions, like what comes in, what went out, all that can be seen in that complete flow chart with variables, all that. Yeah, I'll show that again. Fine. So I was trying to talk about unstructured data to structure, right? So let me take one simple example, which is what task log. Yeah. So this is the session log we are, which is in the form of unstructured. Now we need to convert this to what? Structured format. How do you do it? To do that, we can go to what I call component, and one of the components that we use here is what? Intelligent structure model. Clear, guys? So we can use intelligent structure model to convert unstructured to structure. So please select this and click on create. Yeah. Yes. So I'll just put here ISM for log file. Yeah. So here we can choose a file which is task log, right? Yes. So now we can just discover structure. See, now it is already converted. One, we can see in a model form, like a top element, then second level element, and third level, like it's like a substructure, and date and time. Top level we have got value 1, token 1, token 2, value 2, element 2 has got again sub elements or sub attributes, token element, whatever. Within element again we have got date time. Yeah. So which means what, depending upon how input data would look like, right? It would create corresponding model in this form. That's one way. Second, you can also see in relational form. Can you see here? This is how we can also see relational form over here. This is a second way to represent this particular uh, source to relational. And third, we can also see in what XML form. See here, XML data. Yeah. So that's it. So which means this particular pre-built component is going to help us in order to convert unstructured to structure. For example, value 1, token 1, date time, then token 2, value 2. Then element 2 has got again another token, date time, value 1, value 2, value 3. Yeah. So likewise, we can see all the rows in the bottom. Yeah. So once it is done, we can just save this particular model, close it. Yeah. Now the next question, how are we going to make use of this particular, what you call log, yeah, which is a model, so that we can apply any transformation if you want to perform any transformation. So to do that, we can specify the path to this particular log file, like what we did in hierarchical parser, right? We specified path and file name. So this file name will be taken as input to the structured parser transformation. And if you want to manipulate, we can do it, or else we can directly convert log file to what or some other form, yeah, like text or whatever. Yeah. So let us try doing it. So click on new, guys, and select mappings and say create. Yeah. So now let us try to get the structure parser transformation. Yes. Now we can just configure, let's say structure parser first. So now if you look at the structure parser, can you see here? The prerequisite is what? Intelligent structure model would have been created, or we can also click on new to get it created. So please click on select and go to a location where we have saved this particular what model. You know. See here ISM log file. So please select this, guys. Yeah, and then say select. See, output could be relational, JSON, XML, any form. Let's say we are selecting relational. Yeah. Fine. Now let us get the source data. Yeah. So please select source and configure the source connection. So let's say connection. Click on select and supply the log path. Yeah, can you see here log path.txt? That's what just now we saw, right? Which contains a path and file name, right? Which is class log.txt. Let's say okay. Restore it. Now let us try to map source to structure parser. After this, we can maximize, and structure parser part is already done. Now we can look at incoming fields. See, there's only one log path, which is of type string. Now we can go to field mapping, where we can map log path to file path. Yeah. So that's what we have seen as part of this. The log path is a header name which contains path and file name. Yeah. So that's it. And we can see corresponding data over here. Yeah. Yeah. So based on this, we'll have what we call output fields. See, these output fields, they are derived from what ISM model, which is unstructured structure, right? So value one, token one, element, whatever. These are the multiple what fields that we have in now ISM. Yeah. Now let's map this to target, where we can see multiple values. Yeah. So we can select one if you want only one, and select two if you want two, or whatever. So that's what we need to do. Yeah. So let us say we need only element one. One data would get transferred to a target. So likewise, you can have n number of targets if you want it, or we can have only one target also. Yeah. So let us configure this. Yeah. So unstructured to structured. Fine. And then say okay. That's all. Now you can just apply the mapping name. So mapping underscore what structure parcel, and save it. Run this mapping. Yeah. So that's the second thing. Anyway, this scenario we've already seen conversion, right? In model itself, structure for just to manipulate and transfer, nothing else. Yeah? Now the next one is what today we need to cover many things, right? So we got database. I think someone's asking about question database, right? Yeah. So anybody tried like how to read the data from database table or write data to a database table? Yeah. Anybody tried? Let's wait for the result.
Nathamar is speaking on mute.
Oh, sorry. So yes, I just got into this, I think, administrator service, where we need to specify what connector name. Like we have seen the connector in this particular XEXT driver's location, right? Make sure that it is copied here. Yeah. If not, you can just download. It's a free available connector. Then we need to go to administrator and select agent and look at agent properties. So in this, one of the variable which is related to what? MySQL driver. Yes or no? Can you see here MySQL connector name 8012? This should match exactly like what we copied here, guys. Make sure if you have downloaded some other connector, right? Then we need to change this by clicking on edit and modify this. Or else, if it's the same name, don't need to modify. Clear, right? Yes or no? First, we need to download connector and copy it onto this location where there's an agent installed under data integration server, ext drivers. That's why we need to copy. First step. After that, we need to get it to administrator's service where open the agent properties and select data integration server. Inside that, you can see one of the variable or environment parameter that we use here is what this one, MySQL JDBC driver jar name. This jar name, right, should match exactly with what we copied in the driver's location. Fine. So that's it. Now this is fine. This is done, right? After that, we can create a connection. Connection can be created here also. You can go to connections. These are global connections, right? Like in Power Center also, we can create global connection, right? Yes or no, guys? Yeah. Yes or no?
Yep.
So yeah, let us try to create new connection. Yeah, let's say here I'll put here MySQL connection. Yeah, copy and paste in description and select MySQL. Then within runtime environment, select what agent and supply the username and password, host name, port number, database. So we can try to log on to this MySQL. Yes, command line. So we have to install this MySQL. I think it's already there in environment. Yeah. So then supply password so that yes, enter password root. Password is the root. Then here you can see show databases. We got a list of databases, right? Then let's say we got T, use T. Then in that you can see show tables. So we got a bunch of tables. One of the table we'll see, let's say T table. So let's start from T. So let us try to get this data from this table, which contains 296 rows for one column. Okay, first let's connect it. Database name is what? T, right? Yes. So now let us test connection. Yeah, test connection. Yeah, test for this connection is successful because this database server should be up and running, guys. Remember this. We need to make sure that this MySQL server is up and running. Yeah. So that's it. This is how we can create a connection based on MySQL. Same process will be repeated even for what? Oracle, DB2 or any other database. Yeah. Close this. Yeah. Now we can go to data integration and create a mapping and read the data from the database table. Yeah. Yes, so now let us create a mapping. But we can also configure connection here. So because I thought of showing that variable from administrator, so that's why we created connection admin itself. But we can also create here. So go to source. I think we have done right for flat file. Same way we can also do it for database. So click on new connection, select and select MySQL, whatever. Same as what we did. So we will use it rather than creation because we've already done creation. So MySQL connection, you can see right. Now we can browse and select a table. Yeah. Yeah. Now type T, click on search. Now can you see here? Radio button for T table has been selected. Yeah. And then click on OK. Yes. Now if you could able to preview, which means you could able to fetch. Let us see that. Yeah. So we got the data here. Fine. Now let us try to transfer this data to what? Some target, just to make sure that we could able to transfer data from database table to any other file or something else. Let's say we are using a file. So target file connection. Click on select and specify the target file name, which is, so I'll just put MySQL db result.txt. Yep. Right. So MySQL db result.txt and then say OK. Yeah, that's all. So mapping name will be mapping underscore MySQL db2 a flat file. Yeah. And save it. That's it. Like how we can create a mapping based on what database to a flat file. Yeah. So that's it, guys. Yeah. So now let us run this. Click on my jobs. Yes.
I have one doubt. Adi is also with me, Narasimha.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So, so in example, like we in our project, we want to upgrade our project from Power Center to ICS. So in that case, So in that case, uh, to convert Power Center objects to ICS, what are the ways? I mean, I know there is one way wherein using a conversion tool we can convert and then we can use it, and there is also another way wherein we can see import and export in ICS, wherein we can import the exported Power Center object and then we can convert it. Yeah.
Yes.
So what is the probability of conversion? Will it exactly convert as it is and will not see any issues in ICS?
No, there will be some issues. But see, 100% we cannot get anywhere, right? Any tool will have some limitations. Yeah. Even if you use this inbuilt integration tool, we have integration tool. So in that, I would say more than 90% migration will be successful. Rest, there'll be problems here and there. So we need to see and get it fixed. That is there always.
Okay. So from Informatica and Informatica suggests gives advice to use integration tool.
Exactly, because they have taken care of many things in that. You are right.
Okay. So if you are getting license for IACS, we should be getting a different license for integration tool, or will the same license
Yes,
go?
tool is separate license. For example, I'll show it now. It's a year itself we have it, but we don't have license. But we have trail license for data integration, but you don't have license for tool migration tool.
Okay.
I'll show it right now. It is which is disabled. I think you would have seen it already. Okay, let me show that. Yeah, if you say show all services, right? Other than this, we don't have access. So let me show. Click on show all services. So here you can see one of the microservices is what that converting from Power Center to cloud. Can you see PC to cloud conversion,
Yes.
which is
Yes.
disabled actually because you don't have license for it. Right?
So mostly as per standards, if someone wants to convert from PC to cloud, they will be using this particular tool only.
Exactly, you're right.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for
These
that.
are the enabled ones, whichever is non-grayed out, right? So we can access them.
Yeah. Okay.
Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but see, though we have tool, it's not 100% guaranteed. Any tool will have some limitations, right? But compared to manual, this is much better. That much I can say. So more than 90%, there won't be any issue. But 5 to 10% there'll be issues, small issues here and there. Yeah, that's always there, right? For any tool. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So fine. Let us look at the status. I think we've already executed, right? Yeah, this is done already. Let us look at the result. Yeah, MySQL DB result. See, we got one call and all the rows got transferred. So this anyway is straightforward. So I just wanted to skip this topic because he just want because someone asked a question yesterday. That's why I just covered this. Yeah. Okay, fine. Anyway, it is done, right? So now let us try to focus on a custom transformation, which is going to be what? Java. Because remember, guys, see, anything and everything cannot be done by using what? Existing transformations. But if customer expects something which are not supported by existing transformations, a task, or even plugins, in that case, how do you take care? That is where we have got a Java transformation where we can do like whatever you want it. You can write a code to get the job done. That's all. It's as simple as that. So there is a pre-built template. This is similar to Power Center. There is nothing different from that. Yeah. So even Power Center also we have Java transformation, right? Similar to that. Yeah. Now, in order to make use of this particular Java transformation, first we need to make sure that we've got a JDK, which is Java Development Kit. By default, when we install this particular agent, right, this JDK comes along with that. In case if you don't have it, then what we can do is, can you see JDK here? We can also install it separately. Within JDK, we can say bin, and within a bin, one, we expect what Java C to compile, and second, we expect what Java to run. Make sure that these two applications or utilities are part of this particular JDK. But if you go to JRE, where we could able to see only runtime environment, which means only what you call Java. We cannot find Java C. That is why we should use under JDK normal bin folder where we can see both of them, which is compilation part and also execution part, which is JRE, Java Runtime Environment. That's a prerequisite. And once we have it, then make sure that it's in the path. Anyway, it's part of agent, right? Agent is in the path. So you won't get any path columns. Now, next question. Once you have this JDK is ready, then we can start what you call making use of Java transformation. So let us say we are using Java transformation. I've already sent sample files to Simon, where I have sent sample data. I have also sent what you call how to supply a file as input to this Java transformation. So sample data contains, let me show that. Very simple. So J, yeah, j.txt, which contains sample data. There's only one column. So complete what you call text will be stored in one column. So what is our goal here? Convert this complete text data to what, or extract part of this particular data. So we have got n number of characters, get only first 4 characters or 5 characters based, or split this input data based on comma separator and get 1 or 2 fields. So that's what we are going to do by using split function within the Java. Yeah. So this is a sample data. Now to make use of this data, so we can what you call supply this particular data as input to this source and configure Java. Let us try doing it. Once you know one example with the usage, right, then you can do whatever you want later on, right? What is this? Oh, this is old one. Let me create new mapping. Yes. So let us use Java transformation. Yes. Yeah. Select source connection and specify file name, which is J. Yeah. Click on search and select j.txt. Say OK. And click on preview data. Yeah. See, there's only one column data we got it because we have used only one column here. Because of what? Separators. So just take out the separator, use some separator which does not match with the source data. Now we can say complete data. Yeah. Can you see, guys? Complete column data. So there are n number of rows over here, and click on done. Yeah. Now restore this and configure the Java transformation. Yeah. So go to Java and click on incoming fields. So we have got a row, yeah, which is a field name, right? From that row with a type string, right? So you can perform string operations. To do that, get into Java where we can see template. Template contains import packages, like whatever package that you want to import. Example, we can see here hash table from util, and a helper code. If you want, we can add it. And on input row is a place where we can add our logic. Yeah. So let us try adding it. I've sent this code also, sample code to 7. Can you see here? This is a sample code where we can see. See, so array of strings, name is what row split, and row is what input column. This is string type, right? Dot split is a method from string class. Then using comma separator, we are trying to extract 3. So now see the length is greater than 2, which means do we have number of words after with a comma separator more than 2? Then control comes in here where we are trying to get a first word and concatenating with second word, 0 and first index, right? And store output of that to one of the output field. That's all we are doing, nothing else. Just to understand whether Java transformation is going to work or not. Yeah. Then on the right top, you all could able to see the runtime environment, right? Which is agent. So please select it and click on compile. If there are any problems, it is going to tell us where there is a problem. Yes, there is a problem here. So cannot find symbol output row. This is the output column, right? So we did not add it. So we need to copy this and go to outputs, create a new field, and then supply the field name. So let's say precision 10 characters. If you have more than that, it will be truncated. Okay. Right. Now let us try to recompile. Yes. So now the compile is successful, right? So there is no compilation problems. Yeah. So we need to get this data processed. If you don't process this data, right, you won't get to see any result. Let us see the result. You'll not get it anyway. After that, we'll see how to get it. So let us configure the target connection properties. Yeah, select target file connection and click on select and supply the target file. Yes, so here Java result based on split functionality we are doing, right? Splitting input data into what? Multiple words and concat. That's what we're doing, right? Say okay. So yes. Now let us apply the mapping name, mapping underscore Java based on split text. Save it. Yes, there is a problem here. It is not validated, right? So you can just click on validate. It says Java transforms. There's a Java transform has been modified, recompiled. Okay. So go over here, go to Java properties and click on compile. Because you pressed enter, right? Spaces. new line. So that's why. Any code change would require recompilation. Yeah. Yeah. Now let us save it. Now let us run this. Yes, it is executing now. Yeah, so let us try to refresh. So 0 rows processed because we did not use any processing functionality. Yeah, if you go and look at your statistics, yeah, where 0 rows got processed. So this code doesn't have any meaning unless you process it. So to process it, we need to use what appropriate function over here. For example, let's say we need to generate data in this example based on this split functionality. Then click on this generate row and then save compile first. Yes, then it's compiled right successfully. Then save. After that, we can run. Yeah. Yeah. Any questions based from anybody? Samar, Anil, Adi, Shashikar, Shravan, all. Yeah, I think you can hear me, right? So let us try to refresh. Yes, now we can see 4 rows got processed. Now we can see the result in the target. We should have split it. Let us open the target. See, this is the source data. The splitted one is what output row. Can you see output row second field here? That's it. See, first two fields only we got it. Yeah, the comma separation, right? That's what is expected. Yeah, because we are trying to combine or concat first field data, second field data with a comma separate. So that's it, guys, about the usage of Java transformation. Yeah. Now, let us try to focus on what building one maplet. Yeah. So I think someone is asking this question, right? So we can also build a maplet within ISCS, or we can also integrate Power Center with ISCS by using maplet. Yeah, whatever. If you have maplets, you can integrate, or you can also create a maplet from the scratch. So select maplet and create. I'll just show one example how to create, how to use. Just straight through we can do it. Yeah. So let us go to input fields and add a number of input fields. I'll just put this one with a type string. Yeah. And then we can also add output fields, which is going to be, let's say, C1 again. You can just click on plus and specify which is C1 or output C1. Fine. So in between, we can have n number of what you call transformations if you want it. Then map it from source to target. Yeah. So this way we can perform what we call building a maplet. So maplet, which is what pass through maplet we are trying to build here without any intermediate logic. Fine. And save it. Yeah, maplet part is done. Now the next question, how are we going to make use of this maplet within the top level mapping? To answer that, click on new and specify create a mapping. We can use a maplet transformation here. Yeah, can you see here maplet transformation? I think other transformations more or less we covered. So let us apply the maplet by clicking on maplet properties. Can you see here? We have to select the maplet that was built just now. Yes. Select a map. Yes. So passive, right? So now let us get source condition part. Yeah. Now select an object which is anything, let's say sequential file. File 1. Yes. Now we can map this to a maplet. Now within the maplet, we can make sure that field mapping is done because this is a source. This is an input of a maplet, which in turn is connected to output. That is a part of maplet. If you have any parameters, we can also add them here. Okay. Parameters, I'll talk about it. And then connect maplet to a target. Yeah. Now configure the target properties. Yeah. Let's say we have target file connection. Click on select. Create new at runtime. Yeah. So which is what I'll just put here maplet result based on what pass through because we have not built any logic in maplet. So whatever comes in, same thing will pass over to the target cell. So tzt dot txt. Yeah. That's all. So now we can build mapping maplet with straight through. And then yeah, and then save it. Yeah. Any questions, guys? Yes. Now the mapping is valid with a maplet. We can. Yes, let us try to refresh. See, we got all 6 rows were transferred. So we expect C1 column data in the target. See here, C1 column data, we got it. That's it. So this way, we could able to build a maplet with logic or without logic. Yeah. I hope it is clear, right, to everyone? Yes or no? Like how to create a maplet, how to use that maplet in the top level mapping. So that's what we discussed, nothing else. Yeah? Okay. Now, yeah, if you have any questions, you can shoot out, guys. Or else I'll just get into some other topic. Yeah. Yeah. Now let us try to focus on what parameterization, which is one of the important topics, right? Which means how are we going to supply value to a parameter at runtime? Yeah. So which means we can have parameter at transformation level, at source level, at target level, at mapping level, at task level, at task level, anywhere you can have it, right? Yes, sir. So now let us start with understanding having a parameter at task level. After that, we'll get into making the complete mapping parameterized without any hard-coded stuff within the mapping. Let's cover these 2 flows, which covers complete parameterization. Fine. So now let us start with what? A task. Like yesterday, I think we talked about synchronization task. Yes or no? Where we can also parameterize as a filter. I think we have used filter, right? Yes or no? Let me try to create a param file. Yeah. Let's go over here. Let's say source and create a parameter file. New text document. Yeah. Param test.txt. Open that. So we have used filter, right? I'll just add here $$ filter equal to 1 and set, right? First, let us try to create a param file which contains one of the parameter with a value assigned, because we have used filter condition with greater than 1, right? In the last session, I think, right? Let us try to build that and use this, what do you call, param. Let me copy this param, the default location. We can also have it here. We need to specify the path. If not, we can copy this and paste it under what? The default location, you know, which is the user parameters. Let us see where we have it. Apps, data integration server. Then we can go to data. Can you see, guys, user parameters? In this location, we can place param file and open this file where we can see $filter, one parameter, right? Now, first thing, we need to specify the param file, and second, we need to specify the param name and see whether we can see the effect of this particular param as part of task or not. Yeah? So that's what we are going to see now. Yeah? So synchronization task with what we call one parameter, right? So now let us try to supply task operation. Let's say insert task operation. Click on next. And specify the connection here. This is the source file, right? I think we did that. We'll do it quickly now. Yeah, so let's say we are using SEQ. Yeah, specify this file and select. Click on next. Now target connections. So you can select target file connection and click on select. Supply any target here. Let's say agc.txt. Yeah. And click on select. And then click on next. Yeah. Now can you see here? Here you can apply the filter. So click on new and select, let's say C1. Yeah. Click on C1, apply conditions. So first you start with understanding with a hard-coded value. Then we'll parameterize it. Say okay. That's it. Then click on next. Yeah. So simple C1 to C1, C2 to C2. Then click on next. Yes, first let us done it. After that, we'll understand how to parameterize. Then run. Yeah. So look at the status. Okay, let's run this. So greater than one, right? So we got two rows. Last time it executed already. Yeah, any questions, guys? This synchronization task mark? All. Anil, Shravan, Rohit, Adi, Rosh, Rohan, all. Yep. All clear up. Fine. Let's try to refresh. See, two rows got transferred. So now let us look at the result. This one line. So where we can see 4, 7, because which is greater than 1, right? So this is okay. Now let us make it to work with parameterization. Same result should come, but with the parameterization. Let us click on edit. Go to data filters, where we can specify the param instead of hard-coded value here. Say dollar filter, right? So please apply this. Yes. And then say, okay. Next, we need to specify the parameter file name. Param is specified already. So these options, I think we talked about it, like email notification on that. Now we need to focus on param file name. So we can specify what is the name again? Param underscore test. Test.txt. Yeah. Param underscore test.txt, right? Yeah. Then click on finish. Yeah. Now we can verify the param stuff. Yeah, see here, parameter file name is this, right? And parameter also you can see here, C1 greater than $$ filter, right? That's it. Is it clear to everyone? Pratap, Shravan,
How about the
Puneet?
file path?
File path, we don't need to specify a default because by default, it will refer the default location, which is user parameters. In this one, in that case, path is not required. In case if I place this file other than this location, right, then we can specify path and file name, like here. So we can just specify complete path and file name. Yeah. So go here. Okay. Same thing, right? For example, in a Power Center also, we have got SRC files, TGT files. If you place a particular file over there, you don't need to specify that path because there is already $PM source file there pointing to that. Similarly, here also user parameters are default. If you place a file, it will pick up automatically. In case you have placed other than that, then we need to specify the path and file name. Yeah? So let me open that file. Yes. Click on edit. Go to schedule. So here we can see here param test. So you can specify if it is some other directory, let's say C:/test. This way we can specify. You got it, right? Fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So that's it. Yeah. Then say finish. And then run. So anyway, we did not change anything. So we can say param file and then usage of parameter. Run it. Yeah. So now let us try to refresh this. Yeah. See here, 2 rows we got it. Same as earlier, right? With parameters also we got the same result. Yes. So we can see the same data, right? No change. Now we can modify the data from this particular param file. See, another user parameter, right? Let us change it. Instead of 1, I'll just put 4. modified it. Now we should get only one row. Let us run and see. Restart this. No change in this task, right? We have just modified the value to a parameter. Yeah, so let us try to refresh. See, we got only one. See, you can see the effect of parameter, right? That's it. We got only one. 7, right? More than 4 means so 7. So that's it, guys. I hope param, how to create a param file, where to place it, how to specify. I think end to end we talked about it. Any questions on this parameterization, guys, from anybody? Lata, all. It's clear?
So this file, all our Informatica integration service can read this. Like we can define the global variables in that.
Yes.
Okay. So like for suppose, so like when we want to, sometime in Power Center, right? We will take the connection variable from the parameter file, okay, in the source side or target side. So for in the SES, like how we can do that?
So we can do it. See, if you want this connection variables, then so we can go to administrator. So by default, we have a source target connection, right? So here, if you want, we can also add global connections, like we have parameters, global parameters. Right? Similarly, global connections also we can have. So which are parameter names, yeah, or
Correct.
environment, pre-built environment variables. Correct. So
Mm,
those things, yeah, we need to take care at agent level here. So there we take care at admin level, which can be seen at session level also, right? So yeah, edit secure agent. Yeah. So in this, we could able to see multiple what do you call parameters. Yeah. So yeah, can you see here? Here we have multiple parameters like XML repository. You want it on? Can you see here? PM lookup, session date, pad file date, cache date, corresponding values over here. Likewise, you can also add source connection, target connection, pre-built, right? That's what you're asking. So we can add it. So anybody can refer to that.
So what? How am I thinking, right? So in the connections, right? I will define my connections. So I will take that connection name and I will put in one parameter file. So I will call that parameter file. So in the source connections, in that variable I will call just a variable that.
Exactly.
Variable.
Yeah, same thing. In that case, what we need to do is same thing. We need to create a param file like what we did now. Add a connection and value. And refer to that. Yeah. Against with a global parameter. Fine.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah. That way we can take care. If you want to add, can you see in the bottom, we can also add. So any number of custom parameters, pre-built parameters. Yeah. Then assign your parameter to this parameter so that value will be populated. Yeah.
Okay.
So fine. So that's about parameter stuff. Now next question: can we parameterize what transformation or source or target? Answer is what? Yes. Let us see how it will be done. Remember, in Power Center, it is very very difficult to parameterize with 100%. Partially we can do it, but in ISCS we can perform 100% of parameterization. Let us see how it will be done.
Nasima, is there any chance that we can see one JSON parser example?
Which one? JSON example? Huh?
Because we will work closely on JSON.
Okay, so it's very simple. Here the concept we have, I'll show one example in JSON. Yeah, it's
Okay.
like, yeah, what we do here is, let us say we have got some third-party applications around. Now, which is a REST API example.
Okay.
So you can use the REST API, convert that to JSON, and use that JSON to create a connector. From then on, use that connector to process JSON file. Did you understand?
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I'll try to show it
okay,
if I get time.
Yeah.
So let's quickly finish as much as I can. Yeah, what I was trying to talk. Parameterization, right? Now we are going to perform complete parameterization without any what you call hard-coded stuff. So which means we are going to build a complete template actually. And inputs will be separated by the user. Yep. So example, first we'll start with the source and target. Let me add directly one more one transformation here. Let's say filter. Right? Source, filter, target. Yeah. So which is source and target is covered here, and also transformation is covered. Now we need to make 100% of parameterization for these things. Let us do. So first we start with the source. So can you see new parameter? So click on new parameter and supply here new parameter source. I'll copy the same thing, paste it here, description. The rest is optional. Say okay. If you want to supply default, we can do it. Let us say we are not supplying that also. Yeah? And source type, that's a single object. So then if you want to, what you call, supply this file, we can supply. Or so, or else we can also what you call leave it to the user to supply this. So let's leave it to the user. In that case, we need to select a parameter and click on new parameter. So new parameter object, right? So if you want default value, we can supply. Let's say SEQ1, or else we don't supply anything. We'll supply at runtime. That's it. Now source side, everything is parameterized, right? Nothing will be there here. No. Go on. So user has to supply rest. Now next, let's focus on target. So target also fully parameterization, which means complete parameterization. Click on new parameter. New parameter, I'll just put target. So copy paste and say okay. So default you can supply. Let's not do that. Yeah. Default means you'll confuse from where this value comes from, right? So to avoid that, we are not even supplying that. And target type parameter and click on new parameter, which is a target object here. Yeah, like file or table, right? Yes or no? Then copy and paste. Say okay. With this source and target, we parameterized without any hard-coded value here, or hard-coded connection, hard-coded object. Nothing has been hard-coded here. Clear, guys? Yes or no? Now let us jump into what? Transformation level parameterization. Maximize this. Go to incoming fields. Nothing will be there. Go to filter. Now, simple will not use, advanced will not use. Now we are going to use what? Completely parameterized. Click on new parameter. I'll just put new parameter underscore filter. Yeah. And this filter condition will be supplied by the user at runtime. That's it. So this is a template, guys. We are building a template by ourselves. Now we can supply mapping name, mapping with the complete, mapping with complete parameterization, right? Clear? So now let us save it. See, the mapping is valid. So far it's clear, right? To everyone. Anil, Shravan, Rohan, the all. Yeah. Is it clear? Yes. Now let us try to run. During runtime, we supply all the values. Yeah. Yes, see, now we give new parameter source, right? So we need to supply the connection here. If we have it, you can supply, let's create a new source file connection. Then object also we need to specify it because this is also parameterized. Nothing is hard-coded now. SEQ. Yeah, let's say SEQ1 and then select. Yeah. Now source part is done. Now click on next. So we need to perform target part. So target, we can select, let's say target file connection. Then supply the object here. So let's say here AGG, click on select. So AGG.txt, yeah, and click on select, yeah. That's it. So we have two columns here. That's fine. So click on next. Now we are going to build a filter. See here, this is also parameterized, right? Now we are building filter condition. See, select field C1 equal to 1. That's it. This we have done it as part of filter transformation. Try to recall, guys. I think we have done in one of the earlier sessions.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's it. Yeah. So it is saying what? AGG.txt is not valid. Yeah. Swollen fields were removed. That's okay. So now click on run and say my jobs. See here we got error here. So not all input column present in the target. So we don't have it, right? So that is why we got this error. So missing third column. So we can see one target which contains what you call 3 columns. Or else we can create our own target. So copy and paste and change.
I think for this parameter, I think mapping is not taking care, right? That's why I think it failed.
Yeah, so
So
we need to take care.
okay.
Yes. Let's say C3. Yeah. And then some data. Oh.
I think when we are using the repeated task, I think it will be useful, this mapping.
Yes, you're right. Now let us try to look at. I think we executed, right? Oh, we need to supply again. Let's go to explore, or we can also get it from what do you call it, folders, right? Yeah, open this complete parameter. Yeah, now it's open, right? Now we can run. Source for connection, then select object. Let's say SAQ. Supply this and select it. Click on next. Yeah. Now supply parameters, target file connection. Then supply target file name. Yeah, which is we get some filter. Right? What's the name again? Filter underscore result. Yeah. Result. It's a target, right? Filter underscore result. Wait. What happened? You got wrong connection. Mhm. Yes, it's not loading. Starts with F. What happened? Okay, we need to scroll down. Yes. Yeah. And filter result. Selected. Yeah. Let's say C1 equal to 1. Yeah. Say okay. Yeah, this is how we can parameterize. So this way, we could able to achieve what 100% of parameterization within now ISCS, which can't be done in Power Center. It's difficult. It's possible. It's very difficult. See, we got 4 rows, right? Equal to one condition. Yeah. So we can just see here all the 4 rows. See, we got all 4 rows equal to 1, right? That's it. I hope you all have understood, right? Like how to perform complete parameterization within ISCS. Yes or no? Yeah. Adi, Shravan, Pratap, Rohan, all. Yeah. Okay. Now, Ramaya. So, any question, Ramaya?
I'm good.
Okay, fine. With this, let us take a break. After we come back, we'll start with a new topic, which is going to be task flows. We'll talk about that. After that, we'll talk about debugging and tuning. Yeah? There are 3 things pending. We'll talk about it after break. Let's take 10-15 minutes break. 37, right? We'll meet at 16:50, 4:50. Yeah? Okay. Yeah. So let us continue, guys. Yeah. Yeah. We talked about leftover transformations. Plus, we also talked about synchronization task with parameter file and also making the mapping fully parameterized. Now, let us try to understand like how to connect n number of tasks which can be executed either in sequence or in parallel. So to do that, we can go with what? Task flows. Yeah. So that's what we are going to discuss now, right? Let us create new task flow. Here we got multiple templates. So linear task flow, we can use it to execute in a specific order. So let us quickly do one example. We'll come out from that. I'll show some of them because we don't have time to cover all. Linear task flow with let's say 2 tasks. Yeah. And add a task. So go to dev test and select one or more tasks. Let's say we are selecting mapping task, the hierarchy builder. Right? Now, this sequence, which means after completion of this particular task, next task would get executed. So click on add task. Same procedure. Select whatever task that you want to execute after hierarchy builder. So let's say we are using synchronous task with one parameter. That's it. We can also specify stop an error. We want to stop after in case if it fails, or else we can just ignore. Even if it fails, also subsequent task will be executed. Yeah. Now, email notification if you want, you can supply, or else it's optional. That's it. It has got a very limited capabilities in the linear task flow. If you want to execute the multiple tasks in orderly manner, then we can go with this option. And then click on save and run it. Next, we'll talk about how to run multiple tasks in parallel. We'll see that. Yeah. So now let us try to refresh. See, it got completed. So we can click on this where we can see multiple tasks. See, first it is executed hierarchy builder. We can see success to solve that. And we can also see second task where it is returned only one row. Yep. So that's it. This way we could able to take care of what is the running several tasks in a sequence or in an order manner. Now, let us understand how to run multiple tasks in parallel. Yeah. So can you see parallel task? There is a template here. Yeah. So this is going to be the generic task flow where we can execute. Some could be executed in sequence, some could be executed in parallel, some could be executed based on condition, some could be command driven. You can have anything, everything can be taken care as part of what normal task flow. Yeah. So select
One
parallel
question here.
task.
One
Yes,
question here.
please.
What is the difference between the linear task flow and the sequential task flow?
Yeah. So sequential task flow is a superset of linear task flow.
Okay.
Adi, meaning we can execute the task in sequence, plus we can also have dependency, plus event management, plus adding some other SEOs or adding some other task. Anyway, I'll show that also one example. Adi? Yeah,
Okay.
fine. So now, so can you see here parallel tasks, and we call them as what? Steps. All of them, what you can see in the palette, right? They're the steps. Yeah. Start step, end step. So for every task flow, you'll have what? Start step and end step. Now let's try to configure start. Can you see this particular, what you call task flow would be executed one based on REST or SOAP protocol, or second event. In the sense, in case if we have any messages that we take care as part of task flow, then we use what? Event. And access privilege also can be restricted over here. Then input fields, if we have, we can add it. Similarly, output, temporary fields for temporary manipulation, right? Next, we can see parallel task where parallel paths. By default, you have two here. If you want to add one more or n number of tasks which can be executed in parallel, right? We can add n numbers over here. Now, let us say template has got only two. So though we have a template, there is a provision to extend. In linear task flow, we can only add tasks, but we cannot what you call take care of this input fields, output fields, all that we don't have it. We can say sequential is what? Beyond the linear task flow. Yeah. Now, let us try to supply the data task. Data task is one of the steps that we use in task flow in order to call any task that was built by using task assets. Yeah, let us select a data task, click on select and specify any task. Yeah. That's a mapping task with one parameter. Yeah. Yeah. Then if it takes any input fields, see here, this data task will return multiple output fields like run ID, log ID, successors, all that. So this much we don't get it from linear task flow. Yeah. If you're sure about what you're doing, where we need to execute several tasks in orderly manner, then we go with linear task flow. Otherwise, it is not advisable to use linear task flow. This is for events, if you have any events. Yeah. So these kinds of what we call many uh, error handling or fault management could be done once you get into this task flow workspace. Yeah. Now let us apply another task where we can supply some other data tasks. Let's say union mapping. Whatever you want, you can just execute. But these two tasks are independent, so they'll be executed in parallel. So one is not dependent on another. So after that, we can see here. So this is going to be end of this parallel path, and end which indicates end of task flow or whatever. Yep. So that's it. Now let us save this. So we can specify. Okay. What happened? Let's take your time. Minutes. Yes, so we can separate task flow name here. There's a task flow parallel, like that's it. So now let us run. Save and run it. Now we can see both will be executed at the same time. This is similar to Power Center. No? Even there also Windows 10. Now let us see how to debug this. Yeah. So let us try to refresh this. Yes, it is successful, right? You can click on true task just to check what are the tasks that got executed and the number of rows that are returned by these two tasks. Then we can go back to the previous window and click on what task instance name to look at what the status at each and every level. Can you see that green tick mark indicates it is completed successfully? Look at here. So which means at each and every level we can debug in the sense statistic. That's what I was saying. Here we've got different way of debugging what you call task steps. Start. It is started successfully. You can see success status and who started all that. Yeah. Then if you go to parallel, it is initiated without any problem. Then first task, see here, data task 1, it is successfully completed, no errors, and started by this particular task flow. And we can also see data task, which task we have taken, and input fields, all that, that we can see over here. For example, waiting time, and then task type. Yeah. In case if you have any output fields, can you see here all the output fields? What else you need to debug, right? Each and every task level, we could able to say what we call all the statistics, like how many are success, how many are failed, and reason for failure also we can see in case if we handle what we call false. Similarly, same thing we could able to see this is also green tick mark, right? Which means this is also completed successfully without any issues. So we can see data task mapping input fields. So we can see none and then output fields. So we can see this is a run ID. Task status successful. Success was 15. Target was 15. Source, I'm sorry. Source was 15. Target was 15. Which means what? There is no data truncation happen while performing what? Union based on n number of sources, which is two sources here, right? So that's it. Then we can see end task, which is success. So there is no problem here. Yeah? So this way we can debug at the first level. If you want very detailed level, can you see guys? Advanced view. Click on advanced view where you could able to see flowchart which follows active voice workflow engine over here through which it will generate complete path. Here we can see not only path of execution for each and every layer, like what and all it took and what comes in, what went out, what happens, all that can be seen. Let us start from the beginning. Yeah. So I'm trying to talk about debugging stuff. So we can see begin, then started. See, look at here on the left side, we can see variables also, like input variables. Here we can see here what comes in. See here. So this guy started this particular what we call task flow. Output. So in case if it returns any output, we can say it, or else we cannot say it. it is nothing because we are just starting over there, right? Now, so now we can just go to what I call this is a variables list, right? Then we can go to flow of execution. Within that, we can see variables. Count is only one, which is name equal to begin. Then we can go to sequence. It got finished successfully. Within that, in case if it takes any input parameters, so we can see input parameters. So can you see input parameters in case if you have any parameters? Yeah. If not, we don't need to see anything here. It is using only current user who executed this particular task flow. Yeah. So very detailed instructions you'll get it from this particular flow chart, guys. This much you'll not get it in Power Center. Yeah. So now the next we can also look at logs. Can you see here execution logs? In case of any faults, you can see faults. Let's say execution logs. Let us start. So flow. So process flow finished. See here we can see finish status. Yeah. And then begin. This also finished. Name equal to be whatever. Sequence started and finished. Then we can see complete execution flow here. Yeah. Area, wherever there's a problem, we can see the problem, what is the problem, and corresponding troubleshooting technique that we need to apply based on the error that we can see over here. Yeah. So that's it. Init parameters. So here we are using current user, which is going to be rislglobal, whatever the username that we registered over here, right? Then we have what is called sequence. So likewise, you can see complete full of what you call instructions, like what and all happened this particular task, but too much of details you'll get it. Yeah. So input, output, process, whatever happened, right? We can see that. Now, let us say we need to focus on one particular thing, which is going to be, let us say, data task. Here, data task one, you want it. Then we can go to data task one. Can you see here highlighted here? Then within that, we can see variables. Yeah. So, like for example, see data task one. Yeah. So that's what we are executing here. Within that, if you have any inputs which will be taken care by this, you can see that. See here we have got what we call. So it is executing task. Then these are the credentials to start it, because for every process you'll have process ID. Remember, so one beauty part of this particular process flow is what we can attach a debugger to this PID process ID so that we can see complete stack trace. An extra thing you'll get it. This will not get it from Power Center. Power Center can only add a breakpoint and then start debugging from the breakpoint by using step into, step out, or continue. Only that much can be done over there. But here we can do much more than that. You know? So wait for task to complete, maximum wait time, all that we can see here, right? Next, we can see what we call outputs. Yeah. See all the outputs that we got it from this synchronization task. That's what we are using in this data task. So we can see task ID, run ID, log ID, status, then number of rows, failed, false, whatever, complete information we could able to see over here. Then why do we need this parallel debugger, where we need to put a lot of manual thing, right? We need to debug row by row, whatever, chunk of rows that we can do it, but we have to do it manually. Here you'll get a complete stuff with all the statistics. So it is beyond parallel debugger of what we have in the Power Center. Yeah. So that's it. Yeah. That's about one task. Similarly, we can also go to another task. Click on what? Second task. Yeah. Which is what data task 2. I just clicked on it. You can see highlighted one here, right? Then expand this and look at the variables. If you want to say it, say inputs, same as earlier. So like max wait time and PID, this is a process ID. Then look at what I call inputs for this particular mapping, which is union mapping. Then outcome, all the statistics, we can see it, right? I think we talked about one of the tasks. The same thing will be applicable here. That's all. So this way, we could able to debug each and every task in a short time. Just by clicking on it, go and see input, output, and in case of any link issues, we can also see this. Otherwise, it's not required. So this is all we debug as part of IICS. I hope now you got answer to your question. This is, see, there are two ways to debug. One, it's a standard way. Here also we can see statistics at high level, but if you want very detailed information, then we can, in the right top, we can see advanced view to look at the detailing information for each task and also input what has come in, what went out. All that can be seen with this particular what we call advanced view. I hope it is clear. Yes or no, guys? Yeah. Now, let us try to build what I call another task flow. Click on task flows, where we can see what sequential task. If we try to select this particular sequential task, see here it is beyond linear task flow. That's what I said, right? So can you see here? Can we add some assignment task, some integration task, notification task for linear task flow? We cannot do it. So here we can add any step that you wanted. If you want to add a condition, we can do it. If you want to add some parallel step, we can do it. If you want to jump to some other task, we can do it. All that can be done. So, but simple template execution wise, it is same. So, which means output, once we complete this, it will be started. Yeah. So let us try to configure start. The same as it's output, it's all that we can just add it if you want it. Then supply the data plus one. Let's say union mapping, input feeds, then data task 2, then select another task. Yeah, this output fields in by default, you'll have it. On top of that, we can also add, let's say, jump task. So jump to, let's say, data task 1 or task 2, whatever, if you want it. Because we don't expect what you call condition to reach their example. In that case, we go for it. This kind of extensions can be done with a sequential task flow. Yeah. Yeah. So fine. Let us try to run. Publish means we are trying to make this particular task flow available to anybody.
So this would mean that on the success of data task 2, then it would jump to again the data task 2, right?
Exactly. We keep on repeating. Yes.
Okay. And is there any way that we can add a condition like if there are no successful target rows, or if this task fails, then jump to another task? Is that also possible?
That I'm going to talk. We have a decision task where we can just put a condition. Yeah.
Okay.
Decision step. Okay. It will keep on getting repeated. Yeah. So these kinds of things, what we need to do, we have to what? as stop, right? You can see here 3 tasks. Yeah, see here, all are completed. Yeah. But still running because it keep on repeating, right? Because see, now started again. No? So we can just stop. We can jump, right? So we are trying to jump to what? The previous task. So here, if you go and look at it here, see, it is executed 2 times, 3 times. This one, this one, this one, whatever. Let's say this one and this one. It's like we can keep on getting executed. So we stop here. Second time it is execution, right? Okay. Now let us start getting into what another type. So there are templates, multiple templates, but all of them we can take care of it by using what? Generic task flow. Yeah, where we can take care everything like linear part, parallel part with a decision, a sequence of tasks with a decision, whatever, all will be taken care here. But if you are lazy enough, then you can just select one of them if you need only this kind of functionality, just select it. Else, you can create everything from the scratch. Yes. So now this start part is same as earlier. Okay, task flow. I'll just put here generic. Yeah. Now we can add any data task here. One. And then, so we can also call integration task. Yep. So in case we have already task which is kept as part of CAI, Cloud Application Integration, we can also call that within this data integration and vice versa. There's a one more microservice which we call application integration, where we can make multiple applications to talk to each other, like ISPS with, let's say, Salesforce or FedEx or Amazon or some other portal applications or even APIs. We can make them to talk to each other. Once we are done with that, you can also get it called within the data integration task. Because we have not touched that, right? I'm just taking dot because here we want only this thing, right? This is where we can use command execution. So notification, if you want to send any email or whatever, right? You can specify mail details to send notification. Yeah. So whatever you specify, just it will be notified. Subject, whatever you want. Just put. Yeah. So body, if you want, you can just add it. Else it's optional. I'm just putting task name. Whatsoever. The file watcher. So we have got even in event wait. We have in power center. Right? So wait for file to uh, be available in the specific location. File to watch. Similar to that. Yeah. So ingestion task, we don't have a license for it, so we cannot run. For MOS, it's a large volume. We can use it as well. And then we have sub task flow. So if we have some other task flow which is built earlier, that it will be called over here. We can call it like workload we have, right? This is similar to that. Yeah. So let's say task for parallel, yes. Now we can also add decision task. Yeah. Let us add decision tasks. Yeah. Now we can add a decision here, which is we can build a formula, or we can also select Let's say data task 1, where we can select what you call path 1 equal to whatever, right, or contains value 1 or whatever, right? Then first path will be executed, or the second path, whatever, right? This one, or else this will be executed. So now call any task if you want to call, and yeah, specify the task. So let's say synchronous task. Otherwise, we can also perform what you call throw error message. No? So we don't expect the control to be reached over here. Then we can specify the fault code, the reason, all that. That's a fault code is some 1000. Reason is unexpected or unexpected. Fine. So detail. So sorry. Fine. So unexpected reason invalid path. Right? This is the throw, right? Now, likewise, you can add any number of steps within this task flow. Let us try to say, and after that, we will try to add some more. Yeah, it's invalid, right? Let us see the reason. Data task 1, input field cannot be empty. Which one is that? Data task 1 will not subtract this. So let's see. Yeah. And select. Yeah. So that's it. Now let us try to execute this and monitor. Yeah, let us try to refresh. Yeah, can you see, guys? So it is successfully completed. Let us see how the path of execution has been taken place. Can you see here? Start data task 1, parallel execution successful decision, and it is satisfied this, and then control went to this notification also successful and ended. This is a path of execution. Yeah, clear, right? Yes or no? So which means we talked about 1, 2, 3, 4 steps here. Yeah. And task details also can be seen here. So step name is this, and details. So you can check in the mail in case if there is any mail. See, we got a mail here. Yeah, just now we executed, right? Notification has come here. Yeah. So that's it. Yeah. So like how, and see here, this is the one from Informatica Cloud we got it. So that's it, guys. Now let us say you want to change this behavior. Yeah. So go back to this task flow generic, where we'll change the condition from existing condition to something else. Yeah. Let's I'll put here data task 2 out parameters, failed success rows, selected equal to 100, which will not be satisfied anyway. This is task 2, right? Where is the task 2? No, that's not right. Yeah. So we need to use, let's say, task 1 only. Then we can use all parameters, failed success rows. Okay, then let us say invalid value, accurate. So now let us see the path of execution. Yeah. Earlier case was valid flow. Now we are trying to talk about in. Yes. Let us try to refresh. It is paid. Can you see here? So 1000 invalid path. Yeah. Let us see the path of execution. Yeah. Now because we made it invalid, right? This one is okay. Decision got failed. Now we can see what throw. So we gave what code as 1000 invalid path. See, this is how based on this condition we could able to what you call see like which path the control can be sent to, right? That's it. This is the invalid path. Yeah. Now let's go to taskbar generic, or we can also jump like I think you were saying one thing, right? You can also jump to some other task to repeat. That also can be done. Instead, because jump we've already used it, right? So I just covered some other step here. Yeah. Okay. So you can also use wait for this particular task to get over before we send a notification. So just like a pause or wait for some time. Let's say 1 second, 10 seconds, whatever, or 5 seconds. Yeah. So that's over. And especially if you want to end a step, you can do it. And parallel, I think we talked about decision, right? Conditional the parallel, independent parallel part we have already discussed. For example, if you want to use this way, then call any other task that you want to follow. As a that task. Likewise, you can build a task flow that could be made as complicated. Yeah. So by adding a number of steps over here. Yeah. So that's it. Yeah. Now let us say we are executing both in parallel, right? This is independent. In case if you are trying to execute the similar resources, then you get what mutual collision, which is this task being used by somebody. Yeah, that part we know, right? So we need to make sure that even if you don't make sure, you'll get error and we can fix it. So this is a parallel execution. Yeah. And let us down. After that, we'll see leftover things. Yeah. So it is running. Yeah. Let us try to refresh. Yes, it is failed again. It's a path, invalid path. Yeah. This we know, right? But we can see the path of execution because we added parallel path, right? See here, both are successful. So this is what we are trying to test, right? That's it. So which means we can have sequential task, we can have parallel task, we can have task flow, subtask flow, we can have a condition with the false capture, then right path. In case if you need to send a notification before that, make sure everything is done with the flushing all that. Then send a notification that also we have sent in task. So that's it. And if you want to look at the detailed view for debugging purpose, we can get into console with active voice workflow engine. Here we can see very detailed. Can you see current state is what faulted throw, right? So we can see what you call top level information about this particular task flow. Yeah. Now, if you want to look at independent pieces, so we can just see what comes in. So this guy is executed. Then what went out from here? Nothing. We started here, right? Then we can start initiating this process with the request ID. Then we can start looking at each and every stuff. Let's say here, we can take one. Likewise, we need to pick up wherever there's a column, right? Click on this, then it will be highlighted. I think we've already seen that. Yeah. So then look at inputs, outputs, all that. Yeah. So that's it, guys. Like how I think this part we discussed already. Yeah. So that's it. Like how one can build a task flow with notification on that. Yeah. So next, okay, let's see if anything else. For application task, I did not complete on. It's important one. So remember, guys, in case, see, in big data also, because we have done it. In case, if you want to make a copy of data from one to some other location, in some other with some other medium, we can do it by using what? Replication task with n number of replications. N could be 1 or 2 or 3, depends. Yeah. So they just basically we use it for like a backup kind of thing. Yeah, nothing beyond that. Yeah. So replication task with, let's say, one replication. Select source connection. Let's say we are going to replicate from MySQL database all objects, all the tables in a specified connection. Click on next. That's a database to file. All the particular target files will start with, let's say, DB underscore. For every table, it is going to create a separate file in the target. If you specify that target as what a file. Yeah. If you use That's a target as database. Then we can also take care of incremental stuff. Yeah. Commit size, all that. Because the file is not applicable. So click on next. Yeah. If you want to exclude some fields, we can just select it. Or else if you want all, we can just ignore this. Similarly, if you want to apply filter condition, you can apply, or else all the rows will be transferred. Yeah. Because there will be some cases what happens is only let us maintain the backup for mission critical data. In that case, we can apply what filters, or else if complete data is mission critical data, then we can go with what all the columns, all the rows. Yeah. These things I think we already talked about it. Yeah. So this particular mode we use it in case of any problem because it will generate too many entries in the log file. But I'll talk about it when we talk about debugging. Yes. Now it is created. So we have selected what all objects from the specified connection. There's a T schema, right? Under schema T, all the tables will be backed up in the specified target location. Now let us run it. Yeah. So meantime, if you have any questions, please shoot out, guys. Yeah. So you can see here there are 27 tasks, which means there are 27 tables. So we can see those tasks independently over here. See, multiple subtasks. They all have what they are in queue. They'll be executed in parallel, guys, all of them. Yeah. Let us try to refresh. That's still in the process of execution. The table, right, takes time. So that's it, like how to perform replication. And these files, right, they'll be generated in this location, which is target. I think that's what we specified, right? That's about application stuff. Yeah, let it get executed, so we don't need to worry about this. Now, let us try to focus on what debugging and tuning. Yeah, partially I talked about debugging stuff. Tuning I did not talk about anyway. So let's talk about debugging stuff. Yeah. So let me talk about theory before it completes. Okay. Yes. So guys, anyway, you're all seniors, right? So debugging, why do you need it? To identify causes of failures. We all know that, right? And these failures could be one, source level issues, second, target level issues, or transformation issues, or mapping issues, or task level issues, or task flow issues, or system, or we can say OS issue, or environment issue. Issue could be anything. Yes, sir. So to identify this, let us say source issues, target issues, transformation issue, mapping issue, and task issue. How do you identify all of them? So that's where we have got session log or mapping task log. You can just look at this log file and see what went wrong. But to look at the log, so we need to understand what we call DTM architecture, where you'll have one process which we call DTM process. Under that, we can have n number of threads. Like we'll have a reader thread, a writer thread, transformation thread, mapping thread, then pre-session thread, post-session thread. Yes or no? So we'll have what? Different types of threads. Then if you have n number of transformations, then corresponding readers and writers will have it. Yeah. So these many threads you will have it for every mapping. Yeah. It will be more than that depending upon the number of transformations. So now the question, this particular log, like what we're trying to talk, session log of mapping task log, will be generated based on what? DTM architecture, which means there is going to be one process which is going to spawn n number of threads, like what we can see here. And in case if there is any problem with respect to spawning or establishing connectivity between among threads, then to identify such kind of issues, we can enable the log level, which is going to be what? Threads, or we can also enable what we call verbose init. Yeah. So first thing, threads actually is going to help us. If not, if we have any initialization issues with respect to data, whatever, right, then verbose init is going to help us. This so we can just set the trace level. Where to set? I think we have already seen just on task level. We have seen it. Similarly, we can also see what we call even in mapping level also, right? So that's it. So now the next question, how, so if we got other log levels, verbose init, verbose data, which is the highest, what we call log level, which is a dangerous thing, which will dump too many lines in a log file per row. Row level, for low level logging, we can enable verbose data. So probably there are 4 levels of logs, like what we have Power Center, same thing. One info or normal, verbose init, then verbose data, then tests. I think we talked about all of them, what it does, right? That's fine. That's about session log. Now the question, so we all know the architecture, right? Client, then app server, then server, then data or meta layer. It's a general architecture that we follow Power Center also. Now, any client issues, in our case, ISCS web client. So if you are unable to log in, then we look at the browser issues, whatever. Now, let's say we browser, everything is working. You invoked what you call request or executed some task. Now, control is not reach this agent, which is server. Actual server here means what? Agent. Or let us say general server, which is DIS, data integration server. So before that, there's an app server. What is that app server, guys, that we use in Power Center? Tomcat. Here also we use the same thing, remember, which means if you go and look at, see, all the files got generated, guys. Now one it got completed. That's okay. Now to look at this particular, what you call what is it? Logs, right? Yeah. So logs, right? So we can go to apps, data integration server. Within that, we could be able to say the logs and Tomcat log. Then open the log and see like how the invocation of this particular task mapping is happening. So for example, let us say we have RDTM. Yeah. Can you see, guys? This is the command that will be fired to execute any task. Where is that command? Just type RDTM. Yeah. Can you see, guys? So now it is executing from here. So we can see from here it starts. command starts from here. So PM DTM command, then RDTM, which uses what config file, PM RDTM config. You can see what it contains. Port number. Every service will have the default port number that it uses, what, 14705. Then it is using what we call this is input metadata file, where you will have complete our task, which will be stored in XML format. Then we could able to see session here. Can you see here? Under work is a session. For every, see, session means you have mapping task. Then parameters. My -p indicates pre-built parameters. I think I talked about this pre-built parameter right earlier. And then the log where it is going to get stored. Then it is going to import the default log. That's it. So this is how what we call internal is going to execute this particular command. Remember that. Like in Power Center, we explicitly execute PMCMD, right? But internally, this guy is good by using this. If you want to do it outside, right, without using graphical interface, this is what we need to form a command so that we can get it called from outside ISCS, third-party schedules or whatever. So that's what we need to do when it comes to this particular architecture. So which means once you know that command, right, then go and take a look at the corresponding log, like what it says over here. So we have got all input log, all that, right? This multi-log, whatever, right? That log we need to go and take a look at. Or if you don't want this complicated stuff to be done, then we can just go to download log or whatever, right? Then look at that particular log. Anything is fine. Both are same only. For example, if you want to download this log, so click on download example. See, it is downloaded. So look at this particular log. So this way also you can just troubleshoot. Both are same only. So you can see all task log, right? That's it. This is the task flow log. Similarly, if you want to look at the task log, you can also download this. Okay. Then open this. So this is where we can see agent, group ID, whatever, all mapping task type, complete parameters we are executing, right? So you can see complete flow of execution. This is similar to Power Center, right? It's nothing different from that. So it uses XML repository. Somewhere we saw this repository name. Where, guys? In global properties. I think I talked about, right? And we are using RDTM, runtime data transformation manager. This is a default workflow that will be created by ISCS internally. We don't create workflow. See, the way the execution happens in ISCS is exactly similar to the way execution happens in Power Center. Only from user interface side, it is different. That's all. So now we can see Unicode and parallel pipelining, all that. I'll talk about as part of tuning another 5-10 minutes. So then sort order we use binary by default, and then code page, all that we know, guys. And then see here, this particular session task, which is a mapping task, that empty image mapping task, right? That is initialized. That's where our things will get started. So appreciation, data movement, all that. See all the readers. Then we'll have thread. See transformation thread, and then writer thread, like DTM architecture I was trying to talk. Right. Same thing will be followed here. So then at the end, we could able to see what is called summary information. So where we can see how many rows that have come from source and how many rows that have come get into this particular targets. So this way, we could able to see the complete log. If we try to enable the trace, this is normal trace. If we try to change from informative messages to what we call verbose data, then you will get for every row will get data, but too many lines will get it. It will take time also to execute if you have too many rows. Yeah. That's why you should be very careful while using that particular option. Yeah. So which means what? If you have any problems before delegating request to data integrity server, so we need to take a look at the log, which is what Tomcat log. That's what I was trying to talk over here. This way it starts. From here, control will be sent to what you call session log or whatever. See here, we could able to see the session log. Can you see, guys? So this is equivalent with what we downloaded in the time. We can see the logs in this particular location. Whatever we saw just now, right? All that can be seen even in this file also, which means the session logs or mapping task logs will be stored in this location. But the starting point will be from Tomcat log file because it blindly follows what architecture. From the client, we invoke or will send a request. Request will be sent to the Tomcat, which in turn will be delegated to data integration server. Here it's going to generate session log, and result of that will be stored in one of the storage media that is specified within what a mapping or task, whatever. Right? That's it about this particular what do you call logging stuff. Yeah. Now, if you take any mapping, let us say, let's open one of the existing mapping. Yeah. So let's take any mapping. Yeah. So here we can see some task rows, some tasks, and we can also see mapping here. Hierarchy builder, whatever. Yeah. So here, if you want to change any options, right? So we can change it. Yeah. So this is what mapping task hierarchy builder, right? This is a task actually, right? No, but if you want mapping, then so we need to select a mapping. So we selected task actually. Task path, I think we discussed, right? Like way to set the trace level or that. Yeah. So mapping hierarchy builder. Yes. So then open this task. Yeah. So now we got into what mapping workspace. Yeah. Here, if the source, which is a file, yeah, and then take hierarchy builder, where we could take a look at advanced option. Within that, we could able to set trace level. That's where we set this trace options. See, I'm trying to show this like way to set trace options. So rest is same. Yeah. And task level, I think we've already seen, right? And the end standard and workforce, you can set it. Task level, I've shown it, and then here I've shown it. Now, one thing which is left over here is now let us say the agent itself has got a problem. We are unable to start the agent. For example, here you've got Informatica Cloud Secure agent, right? Yes, sir. You started due to some reason, agent is not brought up as we expect. In that case, how do you take care? That's going to be the question mark. Yes, sir. To answer that, so we can just go to agent location and look at what you call the logs corresponding to agent. For example, go to apps and select what agent code, where first log that we need to take a look at here is agent code dot log file, where we could able to see any invocation issues that we have with respect to all the services supported by ISCS. All can be seen here, right? So in case of anything wrong, such things can be identified by using this particular log file. This is a one thing. And second, we have got info agent log. Can you see here? So this particular what I call info agent is going to help us in case if someone has started, restarted, right? Such things can be seen here. But apart from that, in case if any change that happens in info agent dot ini, where you have okay, yes. Let's go to config file. So where we can see info agent config. Yeah. So let me open this. Yeah. Can you see, guys? This is the INI file where every agent will have unique ID and org ID and the password, all that will be encrypted. So in case if anything wrong, you'll get to see corresponding issue over there. Yeah? So plus we also have got proxy. Remember, we can protect this particular agent or even on-prem or out data through what firewall. On top of firewall, we can also have extended protection by using what proxy configuration. So in this, we can also go and add proxy details to what we call to have more security, where you can supply proxy host, proxy port, username and password for the proxy. So once we do that, then we can protect more. Yeah. In case if you have any such kind of issues, like proxy issues, those things need to be fixed. That's what I'm trying to talk about config stuff. Yeah. And then go back to this. Yeah. So info agent, agent core. These are the two important logs that we need to take a look at. And if you want to start this particular agent from the command line, we can also get it started by using what agent start. Because if you want to make it as what your own custom way to start this particular agent, then we can look at this bash script in Unix Linux. We can look at what shell script at the end. We can see the command that we invoke to start this particular agent. Yeah. So that's it. So we need to form a command and we can run directly without looking at it. So start or restart we can do. Yeah. So this is what we do to start or restart. So these logs, agent core, info agent logs are going to help us to troubleshoot agent issues. And these logs are going to help us, not these logs, under apps, right? Net integration server. Those logs are going to help us to troubleshoot what our mapping or mapping task force logs. And in case if you want to troubleshoot at task flow level, each task level, like what went wrong, what comes in, what went out, such things can be troubleshooted quite easily by using what advanced view of task flow. I think we have already seen that, where we could able to see all the statistics, inputs, outputs, fail, and variables also inputs, outputs, all that can be seen within that particular, and faults that occurred at each task level. Yeah. So that's what we take care as part of what debugging, guys. Yeah. Okay. Now you guys are all seniors, right? Now it's your turn to ask questions. Now let me start the good topic, which is going to be what performance tuning. So that requires more time, but we need at least 3 to 4 days to understand performance itself. But I'll try to spend 10 to 15 minutes at high level. So remember, guys, performance tuning, before we get into tuning, right? First, we need to identify what we call bottlenecks, meaning we need to identify the issues where they are causing what we call performance issues. Is it causing at target level or source level or transformation level or at operating system level or anywhere? So which means what? First of all, we need to figure out where there is a problem. You know, for example, if you take any ETR where we read the data, we apply some logic, we load the data. Now tell me, if you take simple this particular flow, where do we start? Let's say this particular flow is taking longer than expected. Let's say it's taking 10 minutes, but as per SLA, it should get over in 2 minutes. Yeah. So, but it's taking longer time. Now, what we need to do? So, we need to start identifying the bottlenecks. Once we identify the bottlenecks, then only the tunables are going to play very key role over here. Yes, sir. Right. So now let us, where do we need to start in order to identify the bottlenecks? The starting point would be the load. Yeah. So load is going to be the starting point where, so we need to see, replace, let's say load target is what, dB. Replace dB with, let's say, 5 and see the time taken to complete this particular ETL flow. Thus it's taking, let's say, 7 minutes or 8 minutes to complete this particular uh, particular task. Now we identified the bottlenecks. Now what we need to do? So we need to start applying DB tunables for target. Yes or no? So DB tunables for target. Like for example, sorry. So DB tunables for target. Yeah. For example, let's say have appropriate command size, which is in line with what buffer size of what we use within this IACS. If the buffer size, let's say 512 block or 512 KB or MB, then corresponding commit size should be set. If it's not in line, right, then definitely there is going to be issue with respect to performance. If it is, let us say, 32 kilobytes, assuming that you are dealing with low volume of data, then make sure that commit size is in line with this. That we need to make sure. Next, are we trying to load the data in parallel to target tables or not? Which means what? We need to use either bulk load or though we use normal load, we need to make sure that we are using what appropriate parallelism technique. That's where we need to start getting into what one pipelining. Second is going to be what partitioning. So pipelining is a very simple, guys. It's a downstream of what you call task or downstream transformation need not wait till all the rows that should be processed by upstream what you call task. For example, let's say we got task one and task two. This is going to be the downstream task, and this is going to be what upstream task. Yes or no? So which means we don't need to wait. We don't need make this T2 to wait till all the rows that should be processed by T1. So that's where pipelining will make sure that, for example, let's say there are 30 rows, then this guy process, let's say, first 5 rows, then as when the 5 rows gets processed, they'll be sent to what T2. So it's only first time till the 5 rows gets processed, right? This will be idle. After that, by the time this guy sends first 5 rows, right? It starts processing next set of 5 rows, which is more here. This guy is running second set of 5 rows. This guy is processing previous set of 5 rows. Both are running in parallel. That's why we call it as what simultaneous running of several tasks is what I call parallelism. Example, T1 and T2, we are trying to run at the same time. That's where pipelining parallelism is going to work. Based on what? The buff size, or we can say pipe size that we define. So in this case, pipe size and buff size is going to play a very key role in order to make multiple tasks which can be executed in a parallel. Which means what? If you are dealing with low volume of data, we need to make pipe size very small. If you are dealing with a large volume of data, then we can go with what? Large pipe size. Yeah. And let's say we are doing it with this after changing, applying tunables with what you call pipe and buffers. Can
Narsim,
we
hello.
get? Yes, please.
See, when we are getting the data with huge volume at source, so what is the minimum buffer size in Informatica Power Center we give? I think 1000K, I think, right? 1000K something, I think we'll give.
Yes. Yeah,
So
that's a default, but we can change
uh,
not 1000K. Now it should be multiples of 2, like for
Okay.
example, the 24 or 768 or 256 or 521 like that. 7.
Okay. So see, like my source is Oracle. So data use is I'm taking the bulk load at once. So then suddenly it got failed. The session extraction session got failed. So the how I need to define the buffer size based on that, based on which scenario,
Yeah.
like.
In that case, Oracle, we need to understand what is the block size that will be used by Oracle.
So
So
like
block will have block. We write in terms of
correct.
blocks, right? Read also will happen in terms of blocks.
Yeah,
Yes, Shravan?
I think that error that time I got error like undo retention size issue, undo size issue. I think that one. So
Okay.
retention size issue I said. So after the session extracting, like after one lakh that time, so it getting failed. So I tried
Okay.
multiple increasing buffer size, but I think it got not resolved. So I took the
Okay.
like batches wise again.
Okay. In that case, we need to split into multiple batches. Like for example, increase the number of partitions so that that will resolve. If you try to use same partition with huge data where incompatible block size and buffer size, you'll get into such kind of issues, Ravan. So one partition, increase the partition. Second, what do you call parallel load. As a result, you never get into this retention issues or
Okay.
writing or reading issues, Ravan. Yeah.
Like in the source, we like before like defining the SQL query, so instead of taking some from mapping fields, so we can add some in Oracle side, and we can trigger that DB. So how the performance will be compared to
That's a PDO, push down
SQL?
optimization.
uh
Yeah, Shravan. In that case, what we need to do is,
mm,
in case if our ISCS mapping is taking longer than expected, then we'll push the logic to what database, right, to
uh,
source or target, depending
correct.
upon whichever data is happening faster. Yeah.
So instead of using multiple filters or expression transformation, so we can use in that SQL query, and that again the performance also increase, right, in using number of transformations in the particular
Yes.
mapping.
That's also manual. So what we could do is PDO was one of the most powerful optimization techniques, Shravan.
Mm.
PDO full, if you specify PDO full option, right? Take care
Okay.
of creation of a query, optimization of a query. If you have n number of joins, all of them would get optimized. Then push it to relevant database so that it happens much faster than what we do, Shravan.
Okay.
Whatever query you define, forget about you are a layman or you are just a beginner. You define
Okay.
some query, forget about it. Just leave it to PDO. It knows like how to get it optimized, Shravan.
Okay. PDO.
Yeah,
Different.
push down automation. Yeah, and task
Mm.
level we have lost, right? So ELT, where you have seen source, target, and then custom, and also full. Those options you can specify. Seven. Yeah,
Okay. Fine.
that's the best way. See, there are lots of things. We just need to know like how to make use of it, rather than
Mm.
what doing it manually. Those manual days are gone. Seven.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
Yeah, so yeah, earlier days, yes, 10, 15 years back, what you said is right. Now, trend is not like that. Yeah, it is much beyond, right? Fine.
Yes.
Okay, so partitioning, we need to increase the number of partitioning means what? Divisioning, guys, nothing else, which means what? So here there are 30 rows input, right? We have taken here. Let's say you can have this is 3 partitions, example. So which means normally, if you say 3 partitions, so partitions, then more or less you'll get 3 times benefit, more or less, not exactly 3. It all depends on processor capacity, right? And resources availability. More or less you'll get 3 times. So which means let's say this is taking, or after applying all tunables, it's taking 8 minutes. Yeah. So then by adding partitions, right, it would take what, let's say 5 minutes like that. That much of benefit you'll get it. From 8 minutes to 5 minutes, you'll get benefit because 3 times, right? So more or less 3 times. So now our goal is what? To get 2 minutes. That is our end goal, right? Yes or no? 10 minutes to 10 minutes we should come. So we just focused on it, database target only, right? So parallel we did, and then upright partitions and buffers, all that we have taken care. Next, let's say after doing all, we could able to reach only 5 minutes. Now what next? So we need to go with what source from ETL. So which means, so we need to start looking at the source. Let's say DB is a source. Replace DB with a file and see time taken to complete this particular job. Let's say if it is taking 3 minutes. Yeah, now 2 minutes is taking more DB, right? So now there's a bottleneck in source. Now we need to start applying tunables for source. If you don't want, if you are very lazy, then just now I said, right? Don't touch anything. Don't do anything. Just one, increase number of partitions. Second, increase what do you call? Increase number of partitions. If you don't get benefit, right? Then use simple PDO option. You know, PDO to what? Source. What job is done? Your job is over. Nothing else. Definitely you'll get what? Less than 3 minutes. You know, it will be much faster than file actually. So which means you'll get less than 3 minutes. So let's say 3 minutes you got it. Yeah. So we can think many buffer size, number of parallel reads. So manually, right? We can define. Yeah, partitions, buffer size, and also blocks, like how, what is the block used by database and what are the blocks understood by ISCS. Then make sure that both are in line. All that we have to do it. We can do it. But now PDO takes care those things quite easily. Just use PDO. Yeah. That's our advanced optimization technique in ISCS. Even for centers we have that. Yeah. Now 3 minutes. Well, we have 1 more minute, right? Then we can go to transformation and see what transformation is taking more time. Yeah. So like for example, aggregators. Yeah, using. So aggregators are one of the expensive transformation, right? Where we use a cache size, where we use what do you call with sorted, without sorted. So these options, yeah? If it is not sorted, use sorted. Then sorted also, we need to make sure we have proper temp directory, then proper cache size, yes or no. Then number of partitions. Number of partitions are going to help us a lot to perform sorting. Sorting is also one of the expensive transformation, guys. Take care of it. So likewise, these what I call tunables would differ from transformation to transformation. The kind of tunables that we apply for aggregator would differ from sort, joiner, lookup, and so on. Remember that. So lookup is basically we use it for to deal with low volume of data. Don't use lookup for dealing with what large volume of data, because if you try to use it, there is going to be thrashing, which will result what you call which will result segmentation faults, or it's very difficult to identify like where it went wrong with the lookup. That's why if the lookup table is small, which can fit in memory or a cache, use it, or else don't use lookup. Yeah. So I think different types of caches, I think I talked about it, static, dynamic, shared, persistent, right? So depending upon how many lookups and that we use, right? And where we use lookups, appropriate type of cache should be used. This is a very straightforward anyway. So because you're all seniors, right, that you can take care. Yeah? So on top of it, let's say we reach 2.5 minutes, yeah? But still we have 0.5 minutes, right? Half minute. So that we can take care by getting into what? OS level parameters. So operating system level optimization. Yeah. So where we need to take a look at top or top running process or topos. Linux is a top ports anyway. So we can see how many procs that we are utilized, and the kind of memory that we use, and then disk pools that we use. So once we have it, then so we need to see which is a heavily consumable resource task or whatever. Then set IO blocks in case if IO blocks has got a problem, like how many blocks that have been read, how many blocks that have been written. Then set those blocks like whatever how input we get it from our output that comes out from ISCS. Accordingly, we need to set the corresponding blocks. That's one thing. And next thing, if processor idle, we have 32 processors, but we are using only 16. 16 processor idle. That increase number of partitions. That's one more way to identify from OS and memory. Let's say we got, let's say, what do you call, yeah, that's a 256 GB, is very small. Let's say 10 TB RAM we have. Yeah. Then we are using only, let's say, 2 TB. Then try to increase memory so that memory for our application. You can just ask OS administrator to set more memory because there's idle memory, right? More memory for our application, which is our ISS application, so that you'll get benefit. This way, we can also utilize the power of underlying hardware, like in terms of CPUs, memory, and disk, so that we could able to reach the expectation, which is going to be what, 2 minutes, even less than 2 minutes, we can do it. Yeah. So this is what
Narasimha,
we do.
like here, so suppose like instant I set up two servers for my jobs. So two servers is enough. So like day by day increasing my job. So it's a cloud, right? So like the provider is auto scale, right? My applications. I don't want to take the like time to please increase my size. So because my job is running at night time. So the cloud provider has to auto increase, right? So my job is running longer than the given time. So the application has the job has to have the I need to more storage or computing power. So sometime it will shift from primary server to like secondary server. Primary server is full, so I need the another support server. So that time when the splitting the job from one server to another servers, that time I think the pipeline is any chance that break.
Yeah, Simon, actually that concept is normally when we use no primary server or secondary server or
Correct.
backup server, right? So we use that in case of any failure that happens in primary server, the task will be handed over to secondary server or backup
Mm.
server. Yeah,
Correct.
but
Correct.
for yeah,
Mm.
but for performance tuning, that would not happen. So what we need to do, let's say you are running your job in the night time. So let's say
Mm.
you are using grid computation. In that case, what grid does or grid computation environment it does, it
Mm.
is going to compute all the freely available resources and
Mm.
allocate those resources automatically to make your job runs faster than expected if you are using
Correct.
grid.
Correct.
But if you're not using that and you want to do it manual computation, that's what we are trying to talk. So we can also look at what we have in environment and change it accordingly so that we'll get performance effective results. Raman?
Load balancer also come into the picture right here, so it will take care the.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to talk. You are right. Load balancing. You are right. Yeah. That's what we are trying to. We are trying to identify the resources in
Correct.
the operating system. Based on that, we are trying to allocate more so that it can happen faster. Seven.
Okay.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah. So that's it about this training, guys. So about tuning is a very big topic. I've just touched upon some very bits and pieces on it. Yeah. So I think there's a post test you guys can take, and thank you very much to all of you guys. So 4 is very, very small thing, guys. You need at least 10 days to understand this IACS, or if not 10 days, at least 8 days. Yeah, fine, that's fine. So you got anyway high level picture, right? So you guys can explore. So because you're all experienced, right? So you don't need that detailed training. Yeah, fine. So that's all from my side, guys. So in case if you have any kind of question, right? So you can always send an email to me. I'm just typing my email ID. Any kind of technical, you can reach out to me. So I'll definitely respond to any kind of question, guys. I'm supposed to respond, I'll definitely respond. So at least within a day or two. Yeah. I've just typed my email in the chat box. You can just take it as a reference. Yeah. Fine. So that's all from my side, guys. Thanks to all of you for your cooperation throughout the training program. Yeah.
So Narasimha, so as we are new to the ICS, so what you suggest for the best of us to get the more content from ICS?
It's very simple. So you can just, yeah, I think you can also install this train version systems. It's a 30-day, right? You can also register and install agent from your local laptop. Also, you can just practice. Yeah. So, and it's very simple. CIS is very simple stuff. So we have a lot of documentation, and I can also play this recording like what we discussed. Then practice some examples, 15-20 examples, which covers most of the transformation. That's all. It's not all complex. Don't worry, Steven.
So actually, for Power Center, for like handling this XML and JSON is very hard in the Power Center. I think here it looks good here. So after seeing your example,
this is very easy. I think we talked about XML stuff here, right? So
correct.
it's here. Yeah, but actually I didn't cover app integration. App integration I cover REST APIs and also JSON and also
Salesforce,
Swagger.
okay.
There are many more things, yeah, applications, right? Because that's not part of this content. That's why I didn't touch upon. Yeah.
Fine.
The time is very short, right? 4 half
Correct.
days, very small. Yeah. So whatever best I could, I have done it. Yeah. But anyway, you can practice and ask questions. I'll respond. Shravan and all. Yeah.
Thanks, Nasima, for best content. Good session. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah. Thanks to all guys. You can. I think where's Sabrin? Sabrin, are there, madam? Oh, she is not there. That's going actually logically there'll be a post test. I don't know what it's doing. Just give me a minute. Let me call her.
Sabrina, धन्यवाद। आपको आपकी कॉल का जवाब जल्द ही मिलेगा। कृपया लाइन पर बने रहें।
Madam, please share that post test link, madam.
Yes, sir.
Please log in and then share that link, madam. Yeah. Yeah, please log in. Yeah. Now we have only 6 minutes. Yeah. So just 1 minute, guys. He's joining. So you can take post test.
Sir, for Informatica, it is the last day is 22, right?
Today is Thursday, right?
No, sir. Last day is 22nd date.
4 days, right? It is a 4-day program, madam.
Is it okay? Actually, on the training invite, I can say 18 to 22 March.
Yes, Nasma. I think we can calendar also. It's showing 22 also is there. That 22 also is there training till 18.
Tomorrow is the last day.
No, 5 days. That's 4 days, right?
No. 5 days it's showing for us.
No, last time I took no.
No. Like we got the mail from HR that the training is 5 days.
Wrong information then. 1 sec. Let me walk. 1 sec. It's the 4 days program. Yes, it's a 4 days. That's wrong. I think 4. I don't know who sent it. It's a 4 days one. Last time also I took. I think this last month only. Madam, check up with Harisha. It's a 5 days. 5 days I can cover. So we have many things to cover. I can cover more
Team, I
topics.
request everyone to be 2 minutes, allow me 2 minutes of time. Let us check and inform.
Please talk to Harish. Yeah.
Sir, sir, did you told to stop the recording?
You can stop recording.
Okay, thank you, sir.